okay, I just got to get this show on the road, because for me brain, where my me brain is now, it's never going to be good enough. It's never going to be just right. I'm trying to, I did a time-lapse video of changing this light bright for y'all. Ta-da! Doesn't he look lovely-licious? I thought so. But yeah, I did a time lapse of that. Oh, bear with me. Just wanted you to see him. And man, do I feel old. Having these crazy sciatica problems. Yet another reason to go into the past and smacketh around my younger self and tell her to please stop hating yourself in long bouts of time and obsessing on really shitty humans. Just be yourself, why don't you? This one's kind of bugging me. I'm going to feel comfortable. I'm going to be comfortable. I did a little Lisa Frank action here and now here. 'Twas here, now here. It's fantastic. All the Lisa Frank stickers you could ever dream of. That's a lot. Yeah, just going with the theme of rolling it back, taking it back. But anywho, can't believe how long the last one was. There's so much processing. I'm trying to let you in on all the nooks and crannies and crevices and crazy places. You know, I'm trying to be vulnerable in the pandemic with y'all. I wore a Sailor Moon shirt, not the Sailor Moon shirt I was digging my basement apart looking for. Went still with some more pink, and I'm glad I put this on at the last second. 'Tis a little wee merry-go-round. The spinning merry-go-round of it all. But you know when your mental motivation is like, I'm gonna get this done by like 4. I'm ready. I'm ready to show you all the raw and unhealed parts of all my former selves. Let's go. And then it's like 8:30, and you know, it's I think less than 0 degrees here, which sends the mind into a whole new sort of polar vortex in and of itself. These are not shoes from back in the day, but back in the day me would have so approved. I can't remember. I think it was someone's child got these shoes, and then it was too weird even for them, for their like 12-year-old, and I was like, yes, shiny Sailor Moon shoes. And I know these pants are getting a lot of traction, even though I have like a gajibitally millias pairs of pants. So many. Infinite pantaloons. Many plentiful pantaloons. But you know, these ones just kind of work for all the vibes, all the angst, all the weird to put words to. These pants do it for me, and I just like, I love that I'm bringing back the sag, y'all. Like, I really do. I feel this in my soul. They're constellations tonight. Of course, I brought back this fine treasure of a gem of a beaut, the mini light bright, and I think that's all just fan-fucking-tastic. Don't you? I agree entirely. So I'm going more into the deep dive. My therapist gave me permission today to be very tired from opening all of the secret file cabinets of my former selves and all of her very strange ways of coping with things. And I don't know, I'm an analyzer. I'm a self-analyzer. I self-analyze all the time. Remember? I do. I sang for you. But yeah, in a very serious way. See, it's much like these pictures. I'm doing a little show and tell. And the person you see in these pictures is so like, gems on my face and gems for you, and here we go into the blue sky, and it's a great day. And she's got all this makeup on. Like, I had to do the Lisa Frank stickers today because I can't believe how much I committed to that shit. And the floofty-doos and the mippity-bas and the, now you gotta need to put this in the setting spray and the, and last night I just had like the full eye makeup routine. And just taking it off, I was so angry. There was so much anger in my soul, like ripping my eyelashes out. And I don't know how I just went full movie character every day, truly. But yeah, that's kind of the point, is that this young lady was dealing with a lot when I read back into her whatever you bobs. And I just think it's funny, the contrast of it all. Like, these are the two extremes. So there's, of course, little me. Always such a ham for the cam. Like, ham cam extraordinaire. How do you... There we go. Lighting. Funny ass little me. And very much the the wannabe fame dog. Give me the lights. Don't you dare stop there. Yep. Just, she wanted it real bad there already. I had a cast on my arm. Where is it? Can you even see it? Yeah, I broke my wrist in 3 places trying to do a cartwheel contest. And I'm not gonna lie, you want to talk about psychology? I would fake injuries in elementary school. I'm letting you in to the vault here, guys. I would fake injuries sometimes, like, yeah, I fell down some stairs the other day. Got this, I was in a rush, to get friends. Like, I wanted friends. I'm exposing. This is heart therapy here. My listeners, yeah, I faked my eye exam and I faked my hearing test. Goodness bless my parents, because, yeah, I was so desperate to be one of the cool kids, to be well liked, and to be famous already. And so, yeah, I went to some extremes. So when I faked the eye exam, the doctor told my parents I was legally blind. Your daughter's legally blind, because I was faking it so bad. And then I got some attention. I convinced them somehow. I still convinced them. It's kind of like what's going on in the government right now. You're like, is this really fucking happening? Did you really convince them? It's not like that at all, but it's funny to me that I got away with it. And I got my hot pink and lime green zebra stripe glasses that I didn't need. So I think it affected my vision because I wore glasses I didn't need. And I got more friends. I did. People were like, cool glasses. You need glasses? Isn't that weird? How just like an accoutrement, an accessory changes you somehow and people are suddenly interested. It was weird. So then I pushed it and I faked the hearing exam and they definitely were hip to my game, wise to my jingo that I was doing there. That was a sneaky little trick. But anyway, there's a little peek in my psychology. And then I just thought it was funny, like the contrast of, these are kind of just like the same, oh Lord. These are like the same version of me at totally different times. And the upper one was when, one of the few times I tried to pretend that I wasn't deathly allergic to alcohol. Night did not end well. But again, pushing it for attention, pushing it, wanting people to be like, yes, I'm here for what you just did. Doesn't that suck? I mean, sometimes I wish I didn't need any of that shit. Because it's really hard to try to milk it from people all the time. Like, do you need me now? Do you like me now? How do you like these shoes? Yeah, that. It's like a lot to do that. And I did it my whole life, I think. That sort of extreme people-pleasing, need to win over the room. I don't know. It's a lot. Hi, Chihuahua. Yeah, I've been going over pretty much all of it. Like, the little pieces I think I explained it to my therapist. It's like, in order to forgive yourself, you have to put certain pieces of yourself away, just in a velvety treasure chest somewhere that you'll maybe open again, because otherwise you can't really move on from how stupid you were being. And the other thing I dived into, I'm glossing over a lot here, peeps, because I'm trying to get to some of the wordy words too, and the poetry. We're doing that as well, day 43. But perspective is just such a bugger, such a elusive, mean little twit, because you cannot get that perspective without all of this trudging and turmoil and upheaval and medieval torture and coming through it's like, you can't get it. You literally cannot touch it or convince your former self that they're going about this all wrong. But I kind of had to read over myself, gloss over these various selves, and my selves have regenerated, and I've become a new person multiple times over, and what's that about? But familiarizing myself again, letting the multiple hers, the versions back in, feeling them, accepting them, letting them be seen now, integrating them into the picture, because I feel like I kind of need them, But God, the perspective of like the real human suffering I've experienced now compared to what I was so goth and so convinced was the end of fucking all meaning back then, when I was just like pretty and blonde and fucking relatively healthy. But yeah, that was the thing. I was wearing like Powerpuff Girl shirts and blondiness, but I was like not okay at all and doing damaging things to myself. And I had to be honest with me now about how many times I rode that very edge of becoming this like other submissive yet nodding, all for this one man who's just taking and taking on a like guttural primordial level, taking from you. And yeah, how many times, or just even it is fascinating to me that I'm summarizing. I wrote myself all these lists of what was wrong with me, head to toe, and I would keep these very detailed logs about like right butt cheek cellulite, got a little better, June, like fucked up, right? So fucked up. And describing myself in poetry as like big and weighted down. I didn't even weigh 90 pounds. And when I went to Hollywood and weighed 90 pounds, you know the story, and the agent, and he told me I was fat. But it is a miracle, truly, guys, reading these journals, that I decided to become the other person who has self-love and doesn't care and vortex shields all of that shit. But it would have been so easy. I had been training myself almost my whole life for that moment that asshole said that to me as a 17-year-old, right? Okay. I had been training myself to say, you're right. I've been saving up money for laser vein removal, and just nod for the rest of my life. And I had so many moments where my hand was on that doorknob of giving up some integral, full of integrity part of myself to make it, or to please someone, or to be their version of me. And I had to be so proud of myself. And I had like a little cool, awesome therapy moment where I was like, I fucking got over that mountain. And it just makes me so motivated to talk to people that are any younger than me and be like, yo, let me just pretend to be you in the future and stop you right there. Because you're giving up a lot more than you think you are, even. Yeah, bro. Anyway, I found a couple other little cuties in the me as a super child one that I missed last night that I thought were hysterical. This one is 11/12/1993. Hoo-wee. Dear Diary. Technologically, see, I figured out that the word was technically, but I still was trying to spell it technologically. I love this. Technologically, I am a Totel, spelled with an E. I am a Totel rap fan. It's kind of hard to listen when you have a mom and dad who like folk music, although I get to listen to my station a lot. My mom and dad listen to alternative, but I like me some rap songs, like Rump Shaker. I spelled it Rum Shaker, like MM. Do you like rap, Diary? I enjoyed that little me. What a little freaking silly butt. This was more romance. I had talked about this boy Jordan in the 5th grade a couple times. We're only 2 years apart, so it's fine. Dear Diary, for reference, on page 11 through 9, I wrote about Jordan, but hey, he's just a spot on the kitchen table now. Now, who just is too cute for words, spelled H-O-O, who just is too cute for words is S-V. I won't give their identity away. Maybe you could zoom in on it. Except he has black hair and green eyes. It's totally different. It seems like we're made for each other because we're always in the same group together. And next year, we're in the 4th grade class together. What do you think, diary? Yeah, missed part of the New Mexico trip that I thought was pretty hilarious. 1994. There we go. Yep. Here we go. It rained and hailed extremely hard the other day. I've seen lots of crops ruined. That's horrible. And lots of homes flooded. We even cried it hailed so hard. And wow, we just passed some really nice horses. We just entered Denver, and the people must take really good care of their grass. Pretty good job here because we just passed some beautiful grass. We're riding through some really pretty mountains. Looks like a painting. A perfect picture. Then I read some of that. We got sopapillas. Now we're driving through beautiful rabbit brush. We're an hour and 40 minutes to Santa Fe. We're going to camp. We're like pioneers. We've just crossed the border and we're in New Mexico. We entered Santa Fe. We're going through life-changing wildflowers. I just saw some cactus. Oh, I think I read you that part. This part's funny, though. We entered a town called Cuesta. Just entered a forest so that my mom and dad could take a whiz. Jeez, waiting in the car. We're leaving at that little forest on the way. It just started raining and it sure smells like a mountain pine dream. We just passed the Rio Grande. Feels, I spelled it wrong. A-Y. Yay, we just entered Santa Fe and it is fabulous. It's very spiritual. It's also spelled really weird. We're now driving to the campsite and there's lots of adobe. Just saw a sunset. We woke and we're getting ready to eat pigs in a blanket. Woo-hoo. Smells so fresh. Anyway, what a cutie, dude. What a cutie. So, any hooter. Then, as I said, and this is just self-analysis, y'all. This is just me letting you in on what's up. But then we entered the junior high phase, and I skipped over some of that because it's, I don't know, it's kind of hard to hear, I guess. I thought I'd give you a reference point. This is some funny shit. This is basically like, okay, so phase 1, 7th grade, whereupon young girl tries to be like the cool girls, gets the blunt bangs, doesn't really know how to do it right because she's a dork, look at her teeth, buys a lot of sweater vests from the Gap and a lot of, collared shirts from Limited to try to be one of them bitches. Gets like the perfect jeans. They let her in. They kick her out. They're mean to her ass. So she slowly starts to become this person who's kind of more like edgy. And then this would lead to the combat boot phase. And the like, actually, I'm hardcore. And I told you how I got the beaver teeth. Just secretly still sucking my thumb right up until about here. But pretty hysterical. Yeah, there she is. I mean, then I kind of like started getting hot. You know what I mean? I didn't think I was. I wrote journals about how freaking ugly I was. But then I was like, this is like that same year. Like 8th grade. But I was like, I'm gonna own that I'm like a little bit darker than you guys, okay? And my friends are goth. They watch weird movies. So fucking deal with it. I just find it funny. But, yeah, shit was actually, like, a little more bleak than I thought then, too. Like, I make fun of myself because that's the only way I know how to cope with the fact that I wasted so much beautiful, beautiful, precious time being so bummed. Like, morbidly bummed. For example, example. Need some of this crack. My crack. Need it. Sorry. Told myself I wasn't going to get any, but I need it. January 1st, 2001. It is midnight. Happy New Year? Not quite. I was sick today. It's always so beautiful to throw up the new year. Life doesn't hold any more promise than it did an hour ago. I'm struggling with feelings of anger, intensity. Why can't things change? Everything bothers me. The television program with blah, 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 and what's their name? I can't stand them. Everyone is dancing, hollering. I got a New Year's kiss from my mother. There was a world of optimistic twinkle and fireworks out there, ringing their sound makers and sporting party hats. I'm so small. I'm glad 00 is over, yet I can't help but feel that my life is slipping. One more year cracked me in the ass with a towel. Everyone is still the same, and everyone is slowly meshing into pod people. It's not their faults. The world is beating it into them. Resistance is futile. We must conform. Long ago, they pictured us with shiny pants and plastic helmets, using transporters and traveling through space. Instead, we are trapped in an endless cycle of MTV reruns and horrible movies. Even in this little spit bucket, Laporte, I can hear fireworks bursting through shouts of happiness and into my backbones connected to my hip bone, and my whole body hurts, aching for something, anything. It's like, damn, girl. And that was 20 years ago. Isn't that a trip? Because I was thinking about that, like how 20 ended and everyone was like, well, 2021 will be better, right? 21 is going to just reset and we'll be fine, right? Please say we're going to be okay. And it's like, no, it's just a continuation of what we're still dealing with, and we're all having a pretty fucked up, hard time dealing with it. And no one, we've all succumb to technology anymore, so people don't really know even how to express themselves or talk in full sentences. I mean, no offense, if you do out there, let's start a club. Can we have a club? Full sentences. Club! I have so much to say about everything, guys. This is why I'm doing this. My young friend just made fun of me, like, you have too much energy. I was like, please, that's what I'm talking about. I wish I had the energy I did when I'm... And I do. I wish I had still the energy that I had then for all the ideas in my mind now and all the perspectives that I wouldn't even let myself have back then. Because I was too worried about some dipshit. Wait till we get to the dipshit poetry. It's just like, oh, no. Try again. This one seemed pretty poetic. This is the last one I have from that time period. I skipped a lot of sad ones. Oh, old overwhelm. I'm overwhelmed with how ridiculous this all is. It's all too much and it's never going to be enough. I've come to the decision that life is not what you make it. In fact, it is difficult to make it into anything other than life. I am a series of pictures hung on a wall. I am no more real than the pictures of my smiling at 7 years old. I want so much more than this, and I hate to call myself ungrateful simply because I'm not content with a day that never ends and a list of tasks written in undecipherable languages. If I could only take one step without questioning where my feet will land, I just might get somewhere. I am most definitely the most frustrated person alive right now. There are plenty of people who are frustrated because they want something they can't have or reach. That girl, that guy, that car, that job. But I am frustrated because I want something I know I will never have. A portrait of life that will never hang on my wall. I want to see people dancing in the halls, on their roofs, in their cars, at corners, waiting to cross the street. I want to see people talking to each other rather than simply waiting for a polite excuse to get out of the way, or for the crosswalk to change in order to scamper away from an unknown human as quickly as possible. I want to pull people out of whatever spell they're under, whatever it is they think they're doing, and force them to live. I want some color, some fucking scissors to chop away at these cliche strings. I don't want to see any more businessmen, car accidents caused by people racing to meaningless destinations, Starbucks, fake fucking breasts, women craving attention that will only last long enough for some idiot fucking guy to ejaculate. Mothers tugging roughly at their children's arms, raising them to be horrible, angry, bland adults, tugging at their day timers and briefcases or phone bills, fake people with cell phones walking by, sad people counting their food stamps, girls who force themselves into thinking they're ugly, looking longingly at girls who somehow seem to think that their paper-thin beauty is worth looking at, men taking out their pre-torn slips of paper from their pockets to write down phone numbers for future bragging points. Score, bigger SUV, more levels, bigger houses, more sexual partners to get more disposable friends, and more reasons for me to want to punch humanity until it's so bloody and bruised that you can't even see its fucking candy coating anymore. oh, what's in store? I can't even focus on my originally beautiful thought because there is so much to be violently hated and caught up in my nest of fear. I can't even think through such bombardments of sales pitches, fast one-liners, pickup lines, lines to fall into in order to get my name written on some line of piece of paper that tells the world I'm capable of something. I am fucking capable of more than anyone knows. I know how to love, and I still know what it feels like to swim against the current without completely drowning, but I may drown yet. I can't fight it all. I want nothing that they're offering, and therefore have nothing to choose from. It is not my goal to be successful if it means melting into this muddled attempt at freedom. Girl, I'm such a youngin'. What, child? Whoo, D-Day. God, what? 20 years ago? I'm 15. 15. Wah! I'm just like, I don't know, it's crazy. And I think I'm going off on the cell phones and stuff. People didn't even have texting ability yet. People were already sucked into them suckers, and they didn't even do shit. They didn't do shit. It's just so funny. I mean, because in a way, it's like, I guess obviously I've learned how to cope better. And I found self-love, so that's great. But all the shit that I complain about or like dive into or I'm freaking out about got so much crazier, right? So much crazier. Oh, you have to see. Aren't these cuties? Can you see them? There's Super Pickle and Mr. Pickle. We'll end on them. They're a couple. They're up there being pickles together. But I read this first part last night, which was the kind of description of the poetry. But then I found this on the other side, and I really liked it. It's just a bunch of, I think I would like write these in my car. These kind of, not when driving, but like when sitting by myself, brooding, avoiding going home or whatever. I wrote, get it together. Make it all tentative and concrete. Design my own space, time, and architecture. Give my own lecture to myself about what I should do. Give yourself something. Put your hands on the money. Analyze yourself much, much more. Understand even when you can't make art. Oh no, it's two thoughts. Understand even when you can't make art, but you can put them together. Thank more. Think, talk, act less. And then I wrote act normal less, which I like that advice better. Get in touch. Trying to do that now. Allow it to take over. Do it for them. Make your own crayon colors. Video game, everything. Paint it. Show this all somehow. I'm doing it, guys. Letter to future me. Knock, knock. The passion of finding it again. See the surroundings. Question it all. Feel it all. I like that. I like this. I like that. So here's where we get into high school, guys. And shit starts getting kind of crazy. Like, I don't know. Shit took a dark turn for sure. So there's some snippets. We'll snip ya. So there was like this chick who entered high school kind of like, I'm still dorking out a little bit. And the teeth went through a lot of phases. But then when I was like, I'm blah, 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 blonde, bitch, is when I kind of like got a little more in my power, I guess. Something like that. Oh my god, this one is so cute of little junior high me. How redonk is that, you guys? How redonk. The phases of bangs. The little self. Oh, little self, you're so silly. Yeah. Going through the teeny bopper phases. And then she kind of evolved back to like this again. And then she tried to be Jennifer Aniston. Every single second of her life was, I'm going to look just like Jennifer Aniston and go to Hollywood. And I did those things. I found my dreams. But so she was struggling. And I think about, like, junior high me needed some help as well. But I have to forgive them because when Columbine happened, instead of, I mean, there weren't these mental health conversations, right? Like, at all. And so I was immediately, like, made an example of and pointed out. And they were suspicious of me instead of being like, well, maybe you just need to talk about your feelings, or like asking me anything about, well, what's up, or where is this poetry coming from, or like, are you okay? It was just like, you're bad, come to the office. And that wasn't the right approach. And I will say, I talk a lot of smack, but I did have like 4 teachers throughout, and they were always like the literature or creative arts, or, you know, you smoked a lot of weed, played guitar, or like you knew they did, played guitar in the class, like old anti-war songs. Those were the teachers who saw me, helped me, got me to write poetry, probably saved my life, but for the most part, I was being chided for all this stupid, conservative, weird ass, twisted shit, instead of like using any communication skills to just be like, well, young, confused 14-year-old who's being bullied a lot, like, what are you feeling and what's up? They were just like, you must be up to something. And it's so weird. But anyway, that's where I was at. And then that just got kind of like high school. I just started smoking weed, and that's how I coped. But there was still a lot of like depression going on that I guess I wasn't talking to anybody except my best friend about, and these booklets. But it's weird. It's weird to look back on. So, okay, diving. Tired of the day to day. Sit and stay and do what you're told. Sound and structure on fire in my mind. My learning process is a different kind, and you won't approve. I'll get slapped on the wrist. My pen holding hand turns into a fist. You want me to learn? You want me to see? Then get me out of this desk and just let me be in the woods somewhere. Oh, the grating sound of the chalk, beware. What lessons could be learned from one peaceful walk? I served my time, now open the gate. I come so early and I'm done so late. Do I live? Am I here? Has it really been another year of my life wasted in a cold, plastic, ass-numbing seat? 12 years is quite a feat. Drowning. This one was crazy. I couldn't read it all, but it's poetry, the white part. I don't even know how I did that. I don't even remember how you do that. But this one kind of got the dark, looks like a cool Rorschach or something, but I can see this one. One night in snow, which it is very snowy here. It is like 0 degrees. One night in snow. That is who you are. Run through bitter cold to embrace the chance at one more star. Feel it now, feel alive. When you're saying I love you with the music, when you're taking a drive, you are loved. Inhale those tears. Light the curtain on fire, dear. Relinquish each of your fears. It is time for your finale, your entrance. Big break, ovation. And finally, you're here. Come back, lights up. Listen to the audience as they cheer your greatest performance ever. You can't let your heart name happiness, never. Your light will pierce through the wings, your curtain is up, and your heart sings. So that one's a little hopeful compared to most of them. Yeah. This one was like a breakdown I had. Went to the hospital. Little breakdown when I was like 16, obsessing over some dude who was way older than me and definitely playing mind tricks with me, and yeah, and I let myself be completely overtaken by it. So that's a bummer. I didn't like that part. I don't even know what this is. Here we go. Taste test. A taste to face what could be there is in the air. And there you ground yourself to sounds of flight, land, water, life, to really hold someone's hand, dig spinning toes in sinking sand, and trip into a place where dark is on the other side. I take this ride for all it's worth, feeling warmth in winter for the very first time, the seeds of some forgotten fruit, a glimpse of unfamiliar youth. My hearing sees, my speaking flees, while sight's a map for a perfect dreamer's perfect nap. On the warm grassy beach of some place gone, it breaks the strong while we are weak in such beauty. Eyes of children see right through me, and the people, I know the people care. I finally dare to smile, try, love them while I see the hate, the crumpled trash, cameras flash, all public eyes on me. I'm the star of this bazaar, but I was just born today. Each drop of color, each and every flaw, it is feeling that this matters. It is feeling this that matters. Both. It is feeling this that matters. This picture I must draw, trace, tracers, traces of who I believed myself to be in a dream, in a seductive chocolate bite. And time has shed both day and night as mistress in a pointless affair of one large lie I must beware. I know when I wrote that one now, that's a little bit of a scandalous story, y'all. I don't even know if we got time for that. Let's just say I was dabbling in becoming a person, right? I was dabbling. Ever-changing eyes or an apocalyptic rendezvous. Tell me whys or a cryptic way of knowing you, so I dig deeper so you might want me. Indulge me in a taste test. Oh, that was the name of that other poem, many pages back. Indulge me in a taste test or a life-vested interest that we can share when we dare to force in puzzle pieces and rhymes that don't pleasure the ear. Measure your fear by the dancing of my pupils or my hidden vibes, no matter who subscribes to this sex war famine feast. I'll look to you for better things at least, and hope you're not that beast with outstretched arms, a groping sway. I long to see you in the light of day, in the light of what surrounds possibility, what it would be is. It's about that dumbass. It's about a dumbass. Sucks. You write beautiful things for people who are just like, fart. That happens. Well, I don't know. I think I'll skip it for the sake of time. I'm trying to get through some of this shit. People pray for absolution to drive their SUVs through the day down gold-paved streets, hooray! People populate for vanity to force beliefs and exchange their hope for a chance to live again. Just some 16-year-old philosophy. My memory, an unwashable mural I am always forced to walk by. Whoa. Yes, I remember this when I missed for the umpteenth time. Can you see this rhyme exploding in my nonsense head? My memory's red with the cliche paintings. I know that the raining's overrated in romance department, but I'm so sick of this bombardment of people and places. This clear paper traces, yes, people gone without a trace, is quite possibly one of the most repetitive cases I've heard. They disappear, full of fear and anxiety, looking for something like a candy spree. Don't know, dog, don't know. Driving lonely. The drive home, the worst. A thirst like a driveway driven over time, this rhythm, a given. This picture was put here. Afraid of remembering what I had to say, logic begins to sway, and the sounds have much more power now. I am the visionary of seeing next to nothing, as the blind man's bluffing. I tell the truth with a grin on my face, just to embrace the fragile label on myself, my person, my heart, but of all organs carried the most weight. But tonight I am carefree. Destiny has me out on a date. But for now, let's pray on the blind, deaf, dumb, dead. Hustle, maybe a couple will love what you said. I just wrote that as like a callback because I was obsessed with atmosphere. Tried to lose my virginity to him, but he was very respectful and said no and let us hang out with him anyways. That's a whole story too. So we got to hang out with him and his girlfriend and her kids, and it was cool. I had a great time. Talked to Murs for like 2.5 hours. He said he was going to be my date to the Oscars one day, so hopefully that can still happen. He was very kind to me. Very kind indeed. What do we got? I mean, we're kind of close. I'm skipping some. Oh, speaking of skipping, these kids I used to skip when I was a tiny girl, and this was such a playful world. I took it for a whirl. Now I remember crying, and a lot more than laughing. The laughing is more faint, but I believe my giggle now is my only non-fiction saint, or finger paint print, or whatever you call it. But face it, you're not a child, nor were you ever. Yeah. I just want to do them all, guys, but... Snow White, perched upon the honey, smothered in the dewy underneath, Unsheath this lonely hunter, redeem his heart box kill. Take the deer and not the lady, dead in the mirror, still water cool and rapid, stuck inside a tiny tin, enveloped in a landslide, waiting for the bee's last sting. I like that. I like that. This one was like about feeling trapped in your like sleepy neighborhood. Cattle crossing. A cataclysmic scene paraded like an ice cream float down or just stay submerged in this earthly static radio transaction transmitted through the torn off limbs of alien cow fields. Ew, it still feels real, nestled gently in a napkin fold where secrets chew through 3 stomachs and layers of steel, gripped by translucent fields of orange peels like paint on a rusty throwing arm, and even you couldn't fix this childhood scheme. I like that one. It's just like cows and aliens and me and my brain. I think I skipped over a lot of the super depressing ones, to be honest with ya. Yeah, I was gonna start on that one, wasn't I? Oh, this one? Oh, do I want to do that one? I'll do it with the other group. Sorry, there is a method to my madness, but it's like a weird method for sure. Yeah, this one kind of shows that. The hopeful insomniac. I did have really bad insomnia then. Little more than a shadow tracking invisible mud into my space. Far-crossed lovers on the rings of a planet, the wings of some old plan that slipped away from your fingers and left pain that still lingers in the memories of this night. When wrongs fit just right in the palm of my hand by the strong grip of some old forgetful man. Women stare at him patiently while the men will be boys, and the timing sets its own alarm in the arms of some cruel but comforting monster whose embrace leaves a colder ice than most. I wait for the love of an alleged ghost in the pit of my stomach, where my decisions play games with love and flames and push me headfirst into my life-drained thirst, until the score is called and the loser fades into the vortex dugout cage, in the hopes of finding a better picture at the turn of just one more page. Damn, fades to the vortex dugout cage. That's a crazy place to be. I told myself I was going to start on this one, but I'm kind of happy to end on it. This one is just about as long as the last one, so it fits, it makes sense, it's okay. They're both kind of long, but I was glossing over pretty much my whole existence, you guys, you know? And I didn't even get to, like, a lot of the, shit. It's like, I'll just gloss. I'm glossing. We're going to go at about the same time. But this was where I had my mental breakdown, and this was when I tripped out. I could talk about this alone for an hour. I tripped out all day today about how special it is to have grown up in the era where you still had to take pictures with a camera, and you couldn't just be like, selfie everybody, let's do it again, let's do it 50 times, oh your boobs look bad, do it again. You had to take a picture of someone. This one's pretty sad, but I would pretend to be like passed out or kind of dead looking as kind of a technique, like almost like Bob and What About Bob, like if I pretend it's happening, it's not happening kind of thing. I don't know. It was creepy. It was creepy. I would be like a creepy like passed out doll just to fuck with people. I don't know. And obviously there's a lot going on here. My shirt says star. It's just a lot. And I thought that was funny too, because that's what I mean. Like, you get what you get. You get these moments, you get these funny moments where you don't know what's gonna come out. And that's how it freaking should be. I don't know. It just was, I feel like that was special. That, that existed. That you had to pick your moment and take a picture of it, and that was it. You better hope it turns out right. There's a lot more I wish I could say. I'm just glad that you joined me in a little reflection of self. This one is a little song to end it on, and it's kind of sad but kind of hopeful at the same time. It's kind of just all the things. So this was one of the first little ditties, little songs that I ever did write, actually. So I'll leave you on it, and it's mushy and vulnerable and soul showing. So that's me, day 43. It's called Lovers and Awkward Conversations. I need almost no sleep, and I need very little love. I need nothing to eat, and I don't need to believe in anything up above. Oh, I feel lost already. I feel that I'm far gone, and I don't feel very steady, and it's already been too long. Like this song and all the other songs before it. Before long you'll see this is a masterpiece, and we'll piece it all back together. But that's later, that's someday. For now we'll keep crawling on the ground, and we won't make a sound or a scene or get caught in between these lovers and awkward conversations. So that's just a little slice. It's a slice of me. This kind of tells you like who I was to myself at the time as well. Kind of a funny like note to end it on, but at least I can laugh about it now. But I drew like a picture of a heart and wrote bad poetry on the back. Because, you know, that whole self-loathing thing, you just gotta do it as an artist, I suppose. It's part of the deal. So please, watchers, listeners, have a fan-fucking-tastic, dreamy evening, day 43. And please join me again, ceremoniously, serendipitously, tomorrow, which will for sure be day 44. I implore you, come along, hear a poem or a song or a thong song. I can't take myself too seriously for too long, nor should you. We should all do a little bit more carouseling of the lightheartedness. We all gotta hop on some ride in our mind, right? Because that's where you gotta be right now. You just gotta get right in your mind. That's what I'm trying to do here. I don't want to expose myself to humans yet, so I'm trying to expose myself to myself. That sounds creepy, but you know what I'm saying. I'm trying to open that locker, forage through what the fuck happened there, and just try to hold myself, have myself over for tea, that sort of thing. Anyway, I ramble. Sport Lisa Frank, and that's it. And be all yourselves. Don't apologize for any of them, unless they're hurting somebody, and then you just stop that. But really, if I'm gonna give advice, it's go spelunking, go excavating. That's what my therapist called it. Get out your little excavating brush and check yourself out. Maybe it's been a while since you hung out with yourself. Do it. I really recommend it. Thank you for being here. See you tomorrow. Dream sweetly.